Hello again, my name's Gabe Zollner. I listened to part of Obama's speech and I had enough. And I made some reference to that in some of the videos already posted. One of the things that really sort of startled me was when Obama said that, yeah, I heard a third of the American people. And then he mentioned that two-thirds didn't bother to vote. And that really disturbed me, considering that this was the most important election in this country's history. And it was the second most expensive election in this country's history. Yet still two-thirds of the American people didn't bother. Is it because, well, some of them, I believe, are in a comatose state. They're in a drug-induced state. They're just as good as their next fix. I don't know how many hundreds of millions fit that profile, but I got to believe a lot of them fit that profile. At the same time, you sort of have to wonder if folks have children and grandchildren, why they wouldn't bother to vote. I know of one individual that's a friend of mine that didn't bother to vote. And it really bothers me when there's so much at stake. And now what we have to do is we have to make certain that the Republican Party honor their oath. And one of the key things that has to happen is the senator in New Hampshire, Jeanne Shaheen. She needs to be put on trial, as does Chuck Hagel, and as does Al Franken out of Minnesota. And I've made a number of videos stating exactly that, and I'm not going to let go of it. Neither should you. Scott Brown should have won. And if the citizens in that state of New Hampshire knew the truth about Jeanne Shaheen, then Scott Brown would have won. That news when he came out the morning of, and by that time it was too late. People had already cast their vote. What has to happen is there has to be a trial held. And if Jeanne Shaheen's found guilty of conspiring with the White House against the American people, using the IRS as her instrument to do that, and if Chucky Schumer is found guilty, the same, and if Al Franken's found guilty, they'll have to be removed from power. We can't afford to have criminals in our Senate. We can't afford to have criminals in our Congress. So it's up to you. I'm not going to let go of it. Will you? I hope not. They need to be removed. They need to be removed now. A special committee needs to be formed. They need to be put on trial, as does whoever they were working with at the White House. And we all know who that is, don't we?